Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Tisha. Welcome to Tisha's Table. Today I have a special guest. It's my beautiful niece, Adria. She's about 11 and a half and she's going to help me with the recipe today. But before we get into the recipe, make sure you subscribe so you can see all my videos, and then hit the notification button so you know when I upload videos. Okay, so today we're gonna make lasagna roll-ups. You've had regular lasagna, right?
Yeah.
Or you just kind of layer everything in.
Yeah.
Well, today we're going to do that same thing. We're just going to roll it up. And basically it's like a chop and drop situation. We've got some, what is it? Ricotta. We've got some shredded mozzarella. We've got some Parmesan cheese. We have an egg. We have some spices. And we have some parsley. And then in the freezer, I've got some like whole mozzarella that we'll put on top. And we'll also have some kale and some mushrooms to put on in there. You could use spinach if you want to, like frozen spinach. Just kind of freeze it out, defrost it, and then squeeze out all the liquid until it's completely dry. I like this kale because it's a little bit more hearty, a little bit more nutritious. So we're going to use that. You don't have to cook it. We've cut it small enough where it's going to cook in the oven. So you ready? Gonna get started? Okay. We're going to start with the ricotta. So just go ahead and put it in the bowl. You might have to do it in 2 swoops or 3 swoops, didn't matter. And you can just, kind of hit it on the side of the, yep, just like that. One more time. Get all of it, all of it, all of it. There we go. Hit it, give it like one good whap. There you go. There you go. And so the next thing we're going to add is the mozzarella cheese. This is the shredded mozzarella cheese. So go ahead and add that.
Just pour it in, right?
Just pour it in. Okay. And then what we have next is we've got some grated parm. You can use your favorite, if you want to shred it yourself, you can, which you don't have to. So go ahead and add that. Then we have 1 egg over here. We have some seasonings, and it's just really basic seasonings. You don't have to do anything too crazy. If you want to make it spicy, you can always add like little red pepper flakes. We're not going to make it spicy, don't worry. So we've got some garlic powder, we've got some kosher salt, and we've got some black pepper. So for this one, you can just put all that in there.
All right.
This is kind of a lot of salt,
Yeah.
and the ricotta and the other cheeses are a little bit salty, so you can be a little bit more reserved on the salt. So maybe just take like a heavy pinch like that, and you could stick that in there. Yep, that's good. And honestly, we don't really need more salt than that. And then maybe two like heavy pinches of the pepper.
Smells really good already.
Cool. So go ahead and mix that up. Let's make sure everything's kind of mixed up. Break the egg up in there. Okay, go ahead and stir that up until it's completely incorporated. Do you want to switch to a wooden spoon? Do you think that's better?
Yeah.
You want to try that? Let's try that. Here, let's do this. We're going to scrape. So go ahead and you can kind of smash it like that and then kind of stir that together. Also, what we're going to add to this is a couple of aromatics. We're going to add some Italian parsley, flat leaf parsley. There you go. Put your back into it, girl. That's good. We're going to add some parsley to it. So I'm just going to chop really quick. Some parsley. Good job. Yeah, the wooden spoon is definitely better.
Yeah.
So this is probably like a 1/4 cup of the flat leaf parsley. Just chop it. And what else am I going to add? I'm going to add part of a shallot. If you don't have a shallot, don't worry about it. You can always use maybe a couple tablespoons of finely chopped onion if you want. I just like the shallot. I like the way it smells. And I also have shallots in the sauce that we're going to use, and you'll see that in a little while. So we're going to chop this. Oh, that looks pretty good. Let me just chop this really quick. Also, what we're going to put in here, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to do some dinosaur kale, Tuscan kale. is what we're gonna do. I chopped it up pretty fine. Are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are you tired? Is that what it is?
You said dinosaur kill.
It is dinosaur kill. You know why it's called dinosaur kill? I'll show you. I'll show you. You think that's hilarious. So I'll show you why it's called dinosaur kale. That's not a good one. This is Lasagna kale, Tuscan kale, also known as dinosaur kale. I've talked about it before in one of my other episodes. So it looks like dinosaur skin. That's why.
Yeah.
Dinosaur. Okay, so we've mixed this up. You can see that we've kind of mixed it up pretty good. We have a few more things to add to it, or a couple more things. Over here. Oh, maybe we should turn this around. So we've got that kale that I mentioned. We've got that. Again, this is probably about a little over a half a cup. Again, if you don't want to use the kale, you can always use frozen spinach. Make sure you thaw it out completely and drain all the water out. And then I've chopped up pretty fine some mushrooms. Mushrooms. Put some more on top. All right. Cool. That looks nice. Let me see. I'm going to give it a couple of, this is kind of we're going to add a little bit of water to this. It's a little bit thicker than I want. So I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. And then we're just kind of loosen it up a little bit. All right, we've got our filling. And so from here, what we're going to do is we're going to pull out our cooked lasagna noodles, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then we're just going to fill them, roll them, and put them in our pan. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got the filling. We've got Adria. She cut up the cheese for us. We've got some the whole mozzarella cheese, and look at her skills. Look at those cutting skills. Good job.
Thank you.
Anyway, so we've got that. We've got some sausage here that I've cut pretty thin. We're going to put this on top. Again, this is where the vegetarian option comes in. If you want to keep it completely vegetarian, you could just skip this step. But we're not going to keep it vegetarian. We're going to eat meat. That's what we're going to do. So right now we've got some lasagna noodles that I pre-cooked. And I cooked them for probably about maybe 5 to 8 minutes. You don't want to get them too soft, but you want them soft enough so you can kind of bend them around. So we're going to do this. And we're going to try to fill we're going to try to fill it up. We'll see what happens. Okay, you have to, I have to, we'll start there. So when we fill, we're going to roll this way. Okay? All right.
Roll them tight.
Not too tight because you don't want the filling to squish out.
All right.
Right? But tight enough. So, okay, so we are going to start with the sauce in this little pot right here. I made this sauce, but if you have your own favorite jarred sauce, it's totally fine. But if you want to make it, all you have to do is put maybe a shallot, a couple of garlic cloves, crushed tomatoes, whole tomatoes, each 28 ounces, and some seasoning, garlic, pepper, some Italian spices, and just let it simmer for about 45 minutes, and then you have the sauce. If you don't have that kind of time, definitely go by the store and just buy the jarred. But we're going to start with some on the bottom so it doesn't stick as much. So we'll stick this like this. Okay, now we roll. You ready?
Yay.
Okay, so I'm going to give you this.
And do we just like spread it out?
Yeah, so let's start in the middle. So if you start in the middle like this, your hands are going to get a little bit dirty. And try to spread as much as you can in either direction. It's going to get a little bit messy. Use your fingers if you need to. Okay. Again, this is vegetarian. So in the filling, we've got dinosaur kale or Tuscan kale. We've got mushrooms. We've got parsley, garlic, and some shallots. right, so we've got our lasagna rolls. Just show them, Adria. And yeah, they're beautiful. Yeah, and the filling's tasty. The pasta's tasty. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cover with sauce, and then we're gonna put the sausage and then the cheese. All right. So if you wanted to leave it vegetarian, right now this is what it looks like. You put the cheese on it in the oven for about 20-30 minutes until the cheese melts, and then you're ready to go. We, however, what are we going to put on there? Meat. So we're just going to kind of like spread it all around. This is andouille sausage, but you could certainly use a regular Italian sausage. You can use smoked kielbasa, anything you like. You can even, if you wanted to, ground some meat up in the actual sauce and put it over top. But I feel like this is prettier. Is this like an abyss hole over there or something? Yes. All right. This is cooked. Do you want to taste it? Sure. Okay, so then we're gonna top. Is it spicy?
No, have a little kick. Well, I'm good.
I forgot it's andouille sausage. My bad. Anyway, we're gonna finish it up with the whole mozzarella cheese. We're just gonna all over the place, just like this. Put as many as you want. If you want to break it up, you can. Do you need some water?
I'll have one right here.
Okay, she needs some water because I forgot to tell her that it was andouille sausage. And as you know, andouille sausage is a little bit spicy. Sorry. All right. Cheese. Yeah, it's a little warm in here. We've got the oven on pretty high.
No, that's the food.
Here, put that in your mouth. You're good to go. All right, that's it.